Good morning, class. Welcome to St. Peter's School. This is your science class, and so today we are going to start with the second chapter, that is health and disease. So all the students are requested to please take out your books and keep in front of you. Take out page number 6. We have already completed with the exercise of previous chapter. So hope you all have done previous exercise in your notebook. And if you all have not done, please complete it by tomorrow, so that we should be on the same page. Okay, so now today we are going to start with the second chapter, that is health and disease. So our first question is written here. Have you ever taken the leave from the school? Have you ever taken the leave from the school due to sickness? Okay, so this is a very common question. Just you can ask from yourself that have you ever taken the leave from the school due to sickness? Yes, most of the students take a sick leave when they don't feel well, or they are suffering with the fever or some illness, so they take a leave, right? What happens exactly when we become a sick? क्या होता है हमें we have to reach to the doctor, or we have to take a rest whole day, right? Sometimes we feel good even without taking any medicines, and sometimes we need to consult doctor and take regular medicine in sickness. Why is it so? So sometimes what happens, some diseases are like this, like we know that if we will take proper rest, then after some time it will go, and some diseases are like this, that in which we have to go for the correct medicine. For example, very common example I'm telling you here, that like cold and cough. So in the case of cold and cough, what we people do, we just wait for 2 to 3 days, so that it may go by self. We don't need to take a medicine. But in case of malaria, for example, we are suffering from malaria, so we have to take a immediate medicine for that. Okay, so this is a very common example. Okay, now next topic is what is health. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-beingness, and not merely the absence of any disease. So, what is health? Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-beingness, and not merely the absence of any disease. It means that health, when if the like we say that the health of these people is very good, it means that he is very fit and fine with the physical and the mental and the social well-beingness. Means that he is physically fit, he is mentally also fit, and he is also he is in a good mood, and he always feel happy. Like when your health will be good, you will also you will feel happiness. You will feel happiness inside, from inside of you, or your mental health will be very balanced, good, physically will be also good. So not merely the absence of any disease, and there is almost no disease in your body currently, and there in your body. Now, second question is what is the disease? The condition of disturbance in psychology or the physiology process of body is called a disease. Each disease has its own specific symptom. Now, if some body is very much healthy, but what happens when the disease enters into the body, everything get disturbs. In the psychological means mentally you will feel sick. For example, like in the case of pregnancy, what happened? Pregnancy is not a disease, but there is a hormonal change occurs in the body. So most of the ladies feel morning sickness. So that is not a sickness, it's just a psychological change. Or the physiology change means, for example, you are somewhere your swelling in your body, that is called psychological change or the physiology change. Okay, each disease has its own specific symptoms. So all the diseases are having their own symptom. Malaria, you will feel cold, and in a high blood pressure you will feel uh, what you will feel, like you may feel गर्म होता है, there will be a lots of sweating in your body. Now, pathogens. What is pathogens? Pathogen is a something that causes a particular ailment or the disease, such as virus, like rhinovirus, which is the common cause of influenza or the common cold. Okay, so what is pathogen? Pathogen are, you can understand like this. This is a type of virus which enters into our body, and it which enters into our body for and become active, and it like is a type of disease, is help in causing some type of disease in our body, for example common cold or the influenza, it's a type of flu. Okay. Now, infectious disease. Disease is spread through contaminated air, water, food, or vector is called infectious disease. Insects and other animals are called as the infectious disease. Now, what is infectious disease? These diseases are usually occurs only when we come in contact of that person, or when we come in contact by in that, in which case we are directly intaking those disease or germs in our body. For example, like you go outside and eat a chaat and something on the roadside street food. So what we do, we know that the foods, those foods are always kept in open place, right? So, most of the times mosquitoes or the other flies come and sit on those food. But then also we like, most of the us, we like to eat the street food. So what is this, that in that case what happens, we are intaking germs directly, or we come in contact of any infectious person, that is also a type of infectious disease. Non-infectious disease are those diseases which cannot which cannot be easily infected. For example, a cancer, if I have cancer, if I will come in contact with you, it doesn't mean that you will also suffer from the cancer. So cancer is a non-infectious disease. So infectious diseases are those diseases which we, if we will come in contact of that particular person, or which if we will come in contact of that germs, we will also get infected easily. But non-infectious diseases are those diseases which, like, we know that the person is suffering from the disease, but doesn't spread through the touch. You can understand like this. Now, what are the types of disease? So, according to duration, first is chronic disease and second is acute disease. Now, we will understand it later on, what is chronic disease and what is acute disease. First of all, we will see that what are the types of disease. So, according to duration means on the time period for which the particular disease is lives inside our body. For chronic disease, it has a some time time schedule in which this disease will be in our body, but after some time it will self destroyed, might be disease or the virus that will get self destroyed. But acute disease, which we suffer our body very acutely, very severely, it affects our body, that is called acute disease. According to according to reason, there are two types of hereditary disease and acquired disease. Hereditary disease are X Down syndrome. Okay, now hereditary disease, we all know that if our forefathers is suffering from BP, or the some suffering from sugar, that it is a hereditary disease. Might be we will I will also in future get infected from the sugar. So these all are types of the known as the hereditary disease. Acquired disease is that disease which is not hereditary, which doesn't comes in our body from our forefathers, but it happens due to come in contact of like nowadays, when we come in contact of infectious disease person, that common cold, flu, dengue, that is the germs inside the water, germs inside the food, that polluted air we take, these so the disease caused due to of those agents, like contaminated water, contaminated food, contaminated air, those type of disease known as infectious disease. This disease doesn't come in our body from our forefathers, it is acquired by us. Non-infectious disease, that actually it happens, like for example heart disease. It is not necessary that if your father is suffering, or if your father or the grandfather died due to heart attack, it doesn't mean that you will also suffer from heart disease. No, it is not necessary. Heart disease is not an infectious disease or not a hereditary disease. It acquires in our body however it happens, but it acquires by us only. Diabetes. Okay, so these all are the non-infectious disease. Now in you will see in your book, there is a chart given here, types of disease. So it's according to duration, according to reason, everything is given here: chronic disease, acute disease, and hereditary disease, X Down syndrome, and Example is Down syndrome, acquired disease, that is infectious disease and non-infectious disease. So every example is given here. Now you will see in the last it's written here, how do the following disease is spread? Hepatitis, malaria, scabies, TB, dengue, dysentery, ringworm, swine flu. Now what you can say that how this disease happens, it happens due to it will be necessarily comes under the acquired disease only, either the infectious or the non-infectious disease, but it will come under the disease, because most of the time dysentery, why dysentery happens, it happens due to contaminated water, contaminated food, it happens, so it will comes under the infectious disease. What do we mean by the pathogen? We already studied what is pathogen. Pathogens are those virus which enters into our body and like make cause a different type of disease is known as pathogens. And pathogens are nearly inactive when it is inside our like outside of our body, but when it enters into our body, it becomes active, and it is in our body for it has a fixed time. After some time what happens, it automatically self destroy. Okay, what do we mean by infectious disease? So already I told you what is infectious disease. Infectious disease are those diseases which can be which in which we, if we will come in contact of those germs, we will be get easily infected. Now you can see just infection through sputum. So you can see that is sputum is spitting when we spit something. So in this area, small droplets are vaporized into final mist. Mist remains in the air for several minutes to few hours. Large droplets settle on the ground within few seconds. Now what happens sometimes, like हम छींकते हैं, like for example we sneeze, what happens, large droplets जो होते हैं, they get vaporized into the fine mist. Mist remains in the air for several minutes. Okay, बहुत देर तक ये air में होता है. If we will come in contact of those air, we might get, might be we inhale those air, and when those virus enters into our body, so that is called a infectious disease. Okay, so now in next class we will see the chart which is given about the infectious disease, what are the some infectious disease, we will study about this. So till the time what you can do, just give a reading to the chapter on the page number 7, you can give the reading on the page number 7. In next class we will discuss all the points. Till the time, take care and bye bye.